Hello everyone. Today we'll have a session on cantilever beam of length L is subjected to a couple M0 at the free end. So we need to calculate slope and deflection at the free end. So sometimes a diagram may be given or may not be given, and here in this particular condition only the statement of the problem is being mentioned. The statement of the problem what says it's a cantilever of length L and is subjected to a couple M0. Couple M0 is the rotation force and at the free end of the beam, and calculate the slope and deflection at the beam. So first we need to define what is cantilever beam. A cantilever is a type of beam wherein one end is fixed and the other end is free. So when we need to draw a cantilever beam, we need to draw a horizontal member. So horizontal member itself will be called as a beam. And when we want to convert this as a cantilever, so we need to make this one particular end to be fixed and the other end to be free. If I provide a support at this particular edge also, at this particular free end also, in that particular condition, it will be called as propped cantilever beam, which will be a statically indeterminate structure. And here we are going to solve statically determinate structure. So this end will be fixed and the other end will be free. Likewise, if we happen to make this end to be hinged and the other end to be simply a roller, in this particular case, we call it as one end hinged, the other end roller. So we cannot call it as a cantilever beam. So necessarily to call it as a cantilever beam, we need to make one end to be fixed and the other end to be free. So this end will be marked as fixed, the other end will be marked as free. And this fixed end we shall call it as A, and this will be marked as B. So this we have drawn a cantilever now, and this the length of this cantilever is span L. So this is what is of length L. So the first condition is satisfied. It is a cantilever of length L is satisfied now. This particular condition is satisfied, and it is subjected to a couple of M0. Couple of M0 at free end. So B is a free end. So I should have a couple of M0 at the free end. So this particular condition is also satisfied. It's a couple at free end. I cannot have the couple at point A because it's a fixed end. Point B is a free end which doesn't have a support. So I am going to introduce a couple at point B. And we need to calculate slope and deflection at the free end. Free end means there are two ends here, A and B. A is a fixed end, whereas B is a free end. So I'll be calculating slope and deflection at free end indicates I'll be calculating theta B and delta B. Theta B will be called as slope and delta B will be called as deflection. So we will be calculating theta B and delta B. So before proceeding to the calculation, we need to know what are the steps involved. So basically it is a 7-step procedure that we had been following. So 7-step procedure is, so first step is to draw the elastic curve. First step is to draw elastic curve. Next step is to draw bending moment diagram, that is BMD, what we call it as M diagram. Next is to convert M to M by EI diagram, which is the after dividing the cross section size, that is the thickness of the beam, we are going to convert M to M by EI diagram. So this diagram itself will be the loading on the conjugate beam. Next is to draw conjugate beam. So conjugate beam is an imaginary beam. Next, superimpose M by EI diagram on conjugate beam. Later to calculate slope and to calculate deflection. So this is what is a 7-step procedure that we are going to calculate. Now how to calculate slope? To calculate slope we need to calculate shear force at corresponding section. So if I want to find out slope at B, I will need to calculate shear force at B. If I want to calculate deflection, I need to calculate moment at corresponding section. So likewise, if I want to find out deflection, I need to calculate moment at the corresponding section. If I want to find out slope, I will be calculating shear force at the corresponding section. So this is what we are going to follow. The part by part will start now. First is an elastic curve that we need to draw. So to draw an elastic curve, if I have a particular moment at this particular free end, this particular beam will have an hogging pattern of bending like this. So hogging pattern of bending is basically been shown in this particular fashion. If you have a moment at the free end, so if I draw a tangent here, so this particular tangent will be in clockwise direction, that is theta b, and this deflection will be called as delta b. If you continue further, if you draw this particular parallel line, you are going to draw 4 horizontal lines. First horizontal line is to draw for bending moment diagram, it is M diagram. Next horizontal line is to draw for M by I diagram. Next one is for conjugate beam. Then later, next diagram is for conjugate beam plus M by EI diagram. So these are 4 diagrams now. So this one is, first one is an elastic curve here, which is already been completed. Next one is bending moment diagram. Then next is M by EI diagram, conjugate beam diagram, then superimposition of conjugate beam and that is M by EI diagram. So later we need to use the equation to find out theta and delta, it is equilibrium equation. So to draw bending moment diagram, we need to find out the moment. Now already moment has been specified at B as M naught. At B we have moment as M naught. So MB, moment at B will be M naught. If you consider a center section here, and if you consider a section at this particular position which moves from right to left, that is towards the left hand side. So moment at C will be again M naught. Do remember, moment value is unit of moment is either kilonewton meter or Newton meter or its multiple. So we never multiply any perpendicular distance to the couple. So directly the value is to be taken into consideration depending upon the direction. If the direction is clockwise, we take it as positive. If the direction is anti-clockwise, we take it as negative. And we never multiply any perpendicular distance as x or L or L1 for couple. We directly consider the magnitude of the couple. So if I consider moment at C, it will be M naught. Likewise, if I consider moment at A, it will be again M naught. So all this M naught on the right hand side, all this M naught on the right hand side is in clockwise direction. If we happen to follow the convention, this particular convention will be hogging, so which is negative. That is right hand side clockwise and left hand side anti-clockwise is hogging. Likewise, left hand side clockwise and right hand side anti-clockwise will create sagging, which is positive. And what we have is the right hand side section. The section moves from right to left, that is the right hand side section, all is in the clockwise direction. So it will create an hogging pattern. So you are going to mark below the beam, that is what is negative. Likewise, here it is M naught because moment at B is M naught. Moment at C is also M naught. Moment at A is also M naught. So all will be joined in the form of a straight line. So all will have the same height, which is nothing but the same depth. And this will be marked towards the negative side. So this is what is M diagram now, that is bending moment diagram. The same bending moment diagram, if you happen to convert it as M by A diagram. So as the beam is on the top, the direction of the arrows should be shown at the top level. Like this. This is what is M by A diagram. As this particular value is M naught, so if I divide it on the left hand side by A, so M naught divided by A and M naught divided by A. Next is to consider conjugate beam. So if we recall, A is fixed, B is free, and in case of conjugate beam, A with the fixed end will become free. So fixed end is A, which will become free, and B is free, which will become as fixed. And the same we are going to superimpose. Superimpose means as the load here M by A diagram is on the bottom fiber, the same diagram we are going to redraw at the bottom fiber. So this itself will be the loading on the conjugate beam. And what we are supposed to do for this particular loading, we are supposed to find out reaction component at B. So reaction component means we are going to find out shear force and moment at B. So to find out shear force now, as the loading is upward, now what happens is the beam will constantly move in the upward direction. So reaction has to be in the downward direction. So if the reaction is in the downward direction, I call it as VB. Okay. Now this VB can be calculated by considering shear force along y direction is equal to 0 because it is parallel to y direction. Whatever is upward is parallel to y direction. Whatever is horizontal, we call it as parallel to x direction. So we are considering shear force along the y direction. Likewise, if we happen to consider the direction of rotation, now here B is fixed on the conjugate beam. We are going to refer conjugate beam. So this particular loading will try to rotate in clockwise direction, and rotation has to be in the anti-clockwise direction. That itself will be MB. So calculation of VB itself will be called as theta B. Calculation of MB itself will be called as delta B. Okay. Now check out, the direction of VB is downward on the right hand side because the load is upward. Now to calculate this particular value of VB, so this is conjugate beam. Again, I'll draw this particular diagram here. After superimposition, this will be the diagram what we are going to get. And this will be the direction of moment of MB and VB. So up till here, that is bending moment diagram is here, second step. This is second step. M to M by A diagram is here, which is third step. Drawing the conjugate beam is here, which is fourth step. And this is superimposition, which is nothing but the fifth step. Now is to calculate nothing but the slope now, that is theta. To find out theta, we need to find out shear force. So we'll consider the same, redraw this particular diagram and find out the reaction component. Now this will form a uniformly distributed load, and for uniformly distributed load, summation Fi will be 0. Summation Fi will be 0. So reaction will be downward. So minus VB. Force is downward. So minus VB. All downward force negative. All upward force positive. All right hand side force positive. All left hand side force negative. Likewise, all clockwise direction positive. All anti-clockwise direction negative. So minus VB. Then this is a uniformly distributed load of magnitude m0 by EI, and the length of the beam is L. So which will rotate in clockwise direction. So plus m0 by EI into L. So that is equal to 0. So VB is equal to m0 L divided by EI. What is this basically? Is nothing but the slope. That is what we had written here. VB itself will be called as the slope. Now this VB is on the right hand side. Now as per shear force calculation, now this is moment convention now. Now this diagram what we had drawn was moment convention. What will be shear convention now? Shear convention will be all right hand side upward force will be negative, and left hand side upward force will be, left hand side downward force will be negative, and all left hand side upward force positive and right hand side upward force to be positive, like this. So this is convention for shear force. This is convention for negative shear force. This is convention for bending moment. So here, if you happen to check out, all right hand side for downward force is considered as positive. This particular force is on right hand side, which is downward, right hand side downward force. So angle is to be considered as positive. Positive means angle to be considered as clockwise. And conventional, if you happen to draw an elastic curve and then they draw the tangent, so this is conventional for the clockwise direction, which is theta B. So this direction of rotation is in clockwise direction, so theta B. So since the force is on right hand side, shear force, so this angle is to be considered as a positive, which is clockwise. So this is what is the calculation of shear force, that is m0, that is VB. Now we are going to calculate summation of MB is equal to 0. Now when you calculate summation of MB is equal to 0, the movement here is already in the anti-clockwise direction, which we have already represented here. Why anti-clockwise? Because the loading will rotate in clockwise direction. Rotation resistance will be in the anti-clockwise direction. So which will be MB plus m0 divided by EI. Because direction of rotation is clockwise, m0 into L, length of the member, and the centroid distance of UDL need to multiply by L by 2, that is equal to 0. So MB will be equals to m0 L square divided by 2 EI. So this is what is the convention for movement, and this itself will be called as delta P. As the force is in anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise is negative, so downward direction has to be considered deflection to be negative. So this is what is the calculation for VB and MB, that is theta B and delta B, for a cantilever beam subjected to a magnitude of couple called as M0. Thank you. Have a nice day.